Okay, let's be real. Studying after a full day of work is not easy. Your brain is cooked, and your ability to make decisions, much less good ones, is almost non existent. 2 years ago in 2024, my studying looked like this. I would bounce between random tutorials, bookmarks, notes, YouTube videos, basically scrolling but with extra steps, and somehow lose 2 hours plus without actually moving forward. But last year I did something I honestly didn't think I could do consistently with a full-time job. I built a full agentic AI capstone project. So in this video, I'll show you the exact system that made me consistent, how I act my time without burning out, and I'll show you the capstone project that proves that this wasn't just watching content. So here's the truth. My problem was never I don't have time. My problem was that my time was scattered. After a full day of work, my brain wanted easy wins. So anything technical, Python, AI concepts, building systems felt heavier than it needed to. And I kept making that mistake. I would only study when I felt motivated, which basically meant kind of studied randomly. So I stopped relying on motivation and I built a system. And if you've read Atomic Habits, you probably know that systems eat motivation for breakfast. And the biggest hack was building a low resistance path. Basically, it was removing decisions, because after a full work day, decision making is basically gone. So if your plan is what should I learn today, you're already done. Your brain will pick the easiest option, which is usually scrolling, switching tabs, or doing something that feels productive but really isn't. So instead of asking myself, what should I do today? I built a system where the answer was already decided. And that answer came from the structured learning plan I got from Interview Kickstart's agentic AI program. That was a game changer because the structure removed questions that drain you after work, like what should I do next? Am I learning in the right order? What's actually worth building? How do I know I'm making progress? The structured milestones meant I didn't spend my energy planning. I just spent it on executing. Also, when things didn't go as per plan, I had Faang mentors who could immediately put my learning back on track, and this saved me from wasting time looking for the way forward myself, and I was able to complete my capstone project on time. But no amount of external help can help you unless you make changes to your own mindset and routine. So here are 3 changes that made consistency finally stick for me. First, same days, same time. So I pick 3 study days a week, not every day, not whenever I feel like it, just 3 days I could actually defend even with a full-time job. Second, I lowered the bar for starting. My goal wasn't study for 2 hours. My goal was open my laptop and start for 10 minutes. Because if I can start for 10 minutes, I usually keep going. And if I'm exhausted, at least I didn't break the habit. I didn't make it this dramatic, big thing. And third, I made it frictionless. So phone away, laptop ready, one tab, one task, no learning buffet. That's the hack, not more time, but less friction. There were weeks when work got intense, deadlines, meetings, life happens, and the old version of me would have just stopped. Then I'll feel guilty, then I'll restart again next week. And restarting over and over is usually how people quit. Because when you break the promise you make to yourself over and over again, your mind stops trusting you. So I added one rule: never miss 2 sessions in a row. So if I had a horrible day, fine, I'll still do the minimum I can do. And because consistency isn't about being perfect, consistency is about not disappearing. So I didn't drop the habit, I dropped the intensity, I stayed on the rails. And this agentic AI program's flexibility allowed me to do that, which is super important for working professionals. And now let me show you the proof. Because I studied consistently is nice, but what actually matters is what did that consistency produce. So this is FinPal. FinPal is a multi-agent, API-driven personal finance web application. It analyzes user spending, generates financial insights, and recommends investment strategies using structured data and agent-based reasoning. It has multiple domain-specific agents, a lang graph-based orchestration layer to coordinate agent workflows, and it has a fast API backend where API endpoints invoke specialized agents to handle user queries. The user interface contains information about the user's finances like transaction history and connected financial accounts. This is, of course, all demo data. Also has smart insights, which are AI generated based on the user's finances. And of course, it also includes a chatbot. Let me show a quick scenario of the chatbot usage. I can ask a question like, how much did I spend last month? What happens behind the scenes is the system route the query using a router agent. It calls an expense analysis agent. That agent fetches transaction data through an API, and then it aggregates spending by month and then breaks it down by category and generates a grounded response. I can also ask a question like, where can I cut back on spending? It analyzes category distributions based on my spending. It identifies things like discretionary spending, and it detects patterns across months and generates specific actionable insights, not generic advice, but suggestions based on the demo user's data. So we see in this case, it's giving me a summary of my spending habits and some suggestions on things I can cut back on. And then I can also go a level deeper and ask a question like, what is the best investment strategy for me? Now, a different agent kicks in. There's an investment advisor agent. It reads my income, my goals, my current financial profile, and my risk tolerance, and it generates a high-level portfolio strategy that aligns with that context. And this didn't work on the first try. My first version was basically one big prompt using a model, of course, and getting back one big response. And it looked smart. But when I tested with real queries, I saw problems immediately, like inconsistent answers, hallucinated assumptions, and then on the code side, no clear separation between data and reasoning, and no way to control failure cases. And that's when I realized that if you want it to behave like the real system, you have to build it like one. So here's what I changed, and this is what the app currently looks like. We have a data layer. Just like in a normal web application, all financial data is exposed through structured API endpoints. So like the list of transactions on the user interface is fetched from this list of transactions data. Same thing for things like categories and information about the user. But the agent also have access to the data, so they don't have to guess the data. They just can easily retrieve it. Next is the agent layer. So instead of just one giant prompt, I created multiple agents that handle different user requests. So we have an investment advisor agent that has its own specific prompt on how to handle user queries. There is also an expense analysis agent and a transaction classifier agent. Each one has a defined responsibility, and the shape of the input and output data is specified. So reasoning becomes modular and traceable. I also have a router that understands the user's intent and route queries to the correct agent. So this is pretty much what controls the execution flow. Also, all the agents are instructed to produce structured outputs in JSON format so that they can be passed as needed on the front end. I also have fallback responses, like for example, this very simple text classifier, just in case the LLM API is not available, and also did several small tests to validate behavior as I moved along. So these are all the little things that make a difference between a small toy application and something that can actually survive contact with real users. And so to bring it all together, once I added agents and a way to route to the different agents, API endpoints, and guardrails, the app stopped feeling like a toy and started feeling like a real product prototype. And that's the key point. The project is not impressive because of the UI or because of the LLM models. It's impressive because it reasons before it answers, and it uses real structured data, and every decision within the system can be explained. And yeah, that was the result of my 60 to 90 minute study sessions after work. They compounded into something I could actually show, explain, and defend. And that's the real proof of consistency. And that's basically the point of this entire video. I didn't become some disciplined superhero. I just stopped relying on motivation and built a system that fits a full-time job. So if you're trying to do this, here is what I'll steal from my approach. 1, don't find time, remove decisions. 2, when busy, drop the intensity, but not the habit. And 3, if you can follow a structure that keeps you from reinventing the plan every day, do it. I had the interview Kickstart team to support me, and if you want to meet them, the link to their free webinar will be in the description below. Remember, consistency compounds, and eventually consistency becomes something you can put on your resume or just build out as a substantial side project to learn from. If you have any questions, drop them below. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. Until then, keep learning. We've got this.